we're going to walk you through a little process where you select the template, you compose your message, you'll preview and test, you'll define who the recipients are. So this could be a mapped marketing list from CRM, or it could be a custom list that you create in our system. So either one works. Delivery options are just time and date, that kind of stuff, and some other things. We'll cover that in a second. There is an approval process built in. So if you want someone's eyes on every single campaign before it goes out the door, they can be a designated approver on a template level, and they can see every campaign and literally have to approve it before it goes out. And then you could actually deploy your campaign. We're going to say, check out the latest blog post. And actually, we want to personalize this. So we're going to come in here. And so everything about this email could be highly personalized. So the data that you map from your CRM to Enfluence is going to be what you can either query on in Enfluence, meaning create your groups that you're going to send to, or personalize. So if we map over the first name field to Enfluence, maybe their language preference, all those things, I can use those all to personalize. So here we're going to say, well, I'm going to include first name. But then if we don't have a first name, we can put a fallback variable in there. So valued brand fishing. Let's see, advocate. And then let's see here. True pre-header text, so this will show up on your phone, but not on your desktop. The from name could also be highly dynamic, but we'll just say and the from address also could be dynamic. So again, this is typically more often used in B2B setting, but if you were trying to send a single email on behalf of all your brands, you could technically do it. I don't know if that'd be a good idea because you probably want the reporting separated for each brand, but you could technically do it. So I'm just going to send this from sales at Enfluence because we do have to lock it down by sending domain. Tag it for Google Analytics, turn on and off tracking, automatically create a text version, and you can BCC. But this little guy right here is going to take me to full screen editing mode. And so what we'll do, or what you can do also, is set up a template, and that template is going to lock down certain areas. Like I cannot move this logo here, right? This blue bar stays, the white background stays, this footer area all stays, the gray background. But right here, anything I roll over where it highlights, this is my editable section. And this is what's going to keep you on brand as you delegate work to, maybe you've got a summer intern or something like that. You don't want them going crazy with the complete redesign of your emails and disrupting your brand. So with this area, you have what we refer to as layout parts. And so this is basically going to define the wireframe, the basic structure of your message. But what it's also going to do is establish the stacking order for responsive design. So if I want to put some text over here and a picture over here, when this drops down to a mobile device, they're going to stack in that order. So it's really easy to control that with our system. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. Once you have your basic wireframe set up, then you're going to start to put in your content types. So this is a text area up here, but we can easily drop in some images. So if we drop that image in, click over to our image asset library, and maybe we want to show a picture of the team. We can drop that team image in. Other content types, so we have a button builder. So this could be our call to action to visit the blog. We'll establish brand colors for you up front, so you can easily click on those brand colors and read the post. And then I can link that to either a landing page in our system or to your site. So we could link directly to that WordPress site. It could be also pages within our system. If you were doing a customer satisfaction survey, you would link to that survey in our system and have all kinds of cool tracking and stuff. Other types of links. So we have a little social link generator. You can use this, or you can create your own and save it as a content block in our system. Nifty Images lets you do countdown timers. And then we have a really powerful feature for conditional content. So this is basically going to give you an if-then statement. So this might be one of the many kind of ways that you could choose to handle multi-language support. So, if I have a custom field that is preferred language, then I would say, well, let's just pretend that journey stage equals preferred language here equals English. Then I'm going to show them this content. Otherwise, I'm going to assume it's French, and I'm going to show them this content. Content blocks, I talked a little bit about that, but basically these are pieces of content that you don't want to have to recreate. You use them all the time in your campaigns, but not every time. So let me click and drag it into place and easily drop that kind of content in there. So we'll save and we'll go out of full screen mode and then we'll hit the next buttons. Also, real quick, I'll just mention, easy to create an A/B split. I just click on that and that's going to give me a B version of this campaign. I could then go do maybe a subject line test, or maybe I want to do a complete creative challenge where I create a brand new template and I can segment my list and say that with 10% gets the A version, 10% gets the B version, and then whichever one has the higher click-through rate gets the winning version. Easy to set that up, and you can actually have up to 5 splits in our systems. All right, so we've got this message. We had some personalization going on there. We want to make sure that looks right. So let's take one of the contact records that's been mapped over from CRM and say, is it working? So here it is. David, check out the latest blog post. If I had any personalization going on here, we would see that as well. I can send a copy of that to anybody. So if I want to say, well, let me send that to Krista, I can send a proof to Krista, and I want her to see David's version of the email. So Krista, I'm sending you David's email. Make sure that the data looks correct. Krista's going to get a copy of that in her inbox. We can scroll down here and we can see, what does this look like on a tablet? What does it look like on a mobile device? We have a link and image checker. So we have really robust tools for testing, right? You guys have been responsible for deploying campaigns, and there's a lot of anxiety about hitting the send button. All of us recognize that. So we're trying to make sure that you have the best chance possible to make sure that it's going to be perfect when it goes out the door. So what we're seeing here is, wait a minute, we have something wrong with one of the links in our thing, is that we put a button in our thing, but we did not link it anywhere. So we got to go fix that for sure before we deploy our campaign. We've also got some stuff showing up under images. And basically what's happened here is we're missing alt text. So probably want that alt text in place for anybody that's using a screen reader, so that they can make sure they have this, a positive experience when they're engaging with our email. On top of that, we have a full pre-flight tool built in as well. So what this is going to do is I'm going to send a copy of David's message to our pre-flight tool set, and that's going to do a whole bunch of email renderings for us. So we're going to look at it on desktop devices, mobile devices, and web-based email clients, and it's going to give us a preview of what that's going to look like. So you can see all the results are starting to come back in, and we can say, well, let's take a look at Outlook 2013. Looks pretty good. Scroll through, and you guys are probably aware every email client renders things just a little bit differently. There's no perfect across all email clients, but you try and come as close as you can. So this gives you a great sense of, for the most part, is my email going to look great? And if it's not, if you're unhappy about something, and here's dark mode, we actually show you dark mode examples as well. You can go back in and change your code, or try and change your email to have it meet your requirements. At the same time, we're doing a spam filter check. Part of that is DKIM and SPF. So these are authentication methods that are kind of a requirement for you to get into the inbox these days. So if you're delivering your lots of Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, they're all checking for authentication, saying that the Mfluence server is allowed to send from your domains. And if it doesn't see those, the chances of you getting into the inbox go down dramatically. And in fact, more and more, it's you getting delivered at all goes down dramatically. So we'll set that up with you for all of your brands, SPF and DKIM, to make sure that you're ready to go and that you're likely to get into the inbox. And then we're looking at a bunch of desktop and web-based spam filters and hosted spam filters. And we'll just kind of give you a general pass-fail. It's not perfect because everybody has, very granular control of their own spam filtering system. They can turn it way up or turn it way down, but it'll give you a general sense of, are you having any issues? Next is to define our recipients. So who is this going to go to? And so I actually have a dynamic group in here that is anybody whose email ends with mfluence.com. And so when you have a group in our system, it can be either I'm going to build a list and I'm going to put you in that list and you're going to stay in that list. And so a good example of that would be your birthday campaign. So you'd create a static list of anybody who has agreed that they want to be part of the birthday messaging. And then you would have a dynamic list that is everybody whose birthday is today. And so you have an email that goes out every day that runs a query at 9 a.m. or whenever you choose to send your email. That can say, whose birthday is today? They get this message. And then tomorrow I'm going to run the query again. And so this is a dynamic email that's just saying, I only want to send this email to people who work at Mfluence. You can also exclude groups. So everybody who works at Mfluence except for Krista, because she's on vacation. But no matter what, I want to make sure that one of my team members gets a copy of this email. So kind of do what we call list math here, where you start with this, subtract this, and add this back in. delivery options. So do I want to deliver this right now? Do I want to schedule it? Do I want to throttle delivery? So usually delivery throttling is for people with very large lists that are driving traffic to a call center, because you don't want to overwhelm that call center by sending 30,000 emails with an incredible offer right, within a 20-minute time span, and have that call center just get overwhelmed. So you can slow down the delivery of a message in our system. And then there's the approval process. It's not required on this template, but it'd be right here. It'd say, hey, this person or these people have to approve this message. You want to send them an approval email, and we'll skip that step. And then we could actually deploy our campaign. And when you get to this step, this send step, we go back through every one of these steps for you, and we look for anything that we think could be a problem. And so what we're saying is, well, it looks like the subject of your message contains the word test. And so it actually doesn't include the word test. It includes the word latest, which includes TEST in it. So I'm good with that. No problems there. So I can actually schedule this message to go out. I confirm that I saw the error and acknowledged it. And that message is now scheduled to deploy.